Hello, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium once again. Um, there's a lot of stress out there lately. I guess there's a lot of stress anytime. Um, we're sophisticated beings, million years of evolution, to have the brain to confuse ourselves. And when we think about the past, it's often very stressful. Maybe you weren't happy there, or you're living in the past. These create stresses that, even though we're a million year evolution complicated thing, we're not really designed for that. And the two of us, women, can handle it better. They seem like they're coming apart at the seams, but actually they're not. Um, they deal with stress better because their hormones are different. It's a good thing too. Wouldn't want women to be like men. Makes life interesting. Um, thinking about the past creates stress. Worrying about the future creates stress. Our brains are so sophisticated that they don't leave any stone unturned looking for problems and generate what if, what because, what might happen, if, and pretty soon you're out to a stress level over something that hasn't happened yet. The things in the past, they've already happened. You can't fix that. There shouldn't be any stress there at all, yet there always is. In recounting the history of your life, if you talk about these bad periods, it always creates a lot of stress. And thinking about the future, what am I going to do? What is this? What do I want to do? What should my family, it creates a lot of stress. And the only way I figured out to get out of it, I don't think it's that difficult, but there's one way out. Um, and of course, it's meditation, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Um, we know more about planets that are many, many millions of miles from here than we do about ourselves. We've explored the bottom of the ocean. We probably know more about that than we know about this sophisticated thing that we are. Um, by learning to take a certain amount of time every day and live just in the moment, no one can live in the moment all the time. You can't do it. Um, we have to turn those devices off that connect us to the world that stress us out. And I might add, most of the stuff that's on those devices isn't real. It's been written by somebody, paid for by someone to express an opinion about something that isn't real either. It's all just crap. Oh, the president's taking that horrible drug. Can't even pronounce it. I wrote it down here. Uh, hydroxychloroquine or something like that in my southern accent. Well, don't worry about it. He's not taking it. It's not true. My guy's saying fabricated. Even as I'm saying, I'm hearing fabricated. It's not true. He didn't take the drug. He just wanted to prove that he could because he said it was a great cure for COVID-19. It's not. It's not a proven cure for COVID-19. It may be for malaria, but saying I take it, it's like not wearing a mask. It's sort of, I'm brave. Well, he didn't take the drug. Sorry. So if you're stressing about the president, and a lot of people are, he's taking that medicine, it could kill him. It could kill him, but it can only kill him if he actually took it and he didn't. So the biggest purveyor of fake news is actually He sends out a lot of it, doesn't he? Anyway, I think it's to get some kind of attention or sympathy, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a terrible job to have. I mean, anybody that wants to be president of the United States must be crazy to begin with, because it's nonstop um, buzz saw. Anyway, stop stressing about the president taking the drug. He never took it. And anybody that said they saw him take it, they're lying. He took an aspirin or something, but he didn't take that pill. Anyway, so stop stressing that the president might die from some drug I can't even pronounce because he didn't take it. He's okay. So he does seem to have some kind of a heart condition. And I do not know what Bell's palsy is, but someone just said Bell's palsy. I have to write that down. This could be me. I have no idea. Just we were talking about the president, and then all of a sudden I heard he has a ticky heart. His heart's a little, it's sort of malformed. It's not quite right. And then he has this, and then someone said Bell's palsy. I'm not going to look it up and tell you what it means. You'll have to look it up for yourself. Anyway, suspending everything for a moment can de-stress you, and just 10 minutes of that makes your day completely different, because I do it every day. And meditation doesn't have to be complex. It just has to, you just quiet your mind. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to sit funny and do your fingers like they do in the pictures. You just have to relax your mind. Let everything go. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Just kind of live in the now. Enjoy the moment. And clear your mind of all activity. That just doesn't make any sense. We're a million-year in development, complicated machine, and yet I'm asking you to suspend thought. It took me a while to get there, but I can do it. If I do that for about 10 minutes a day, I don't have any stress. And my wife always is stressed about this or that, when there's really no reason for you to be sure to be stressed about anything. And I don't seem to stress about any of this stuff. It's why? Because I can live in the moment. I know that the passage of time will prove that none of these things meant anything anyway. Doesn't matter where I live. Doesn't. It's not relevant to peace of mind. And I wish there was some way I could help you overcome this sophistication, this complexity, to let everything go. It's a learned thing. All you have to do is attempt it every day. 30 days attempting to meditate twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, and you'll find your mind just letting go. And certain things visually have an effect. I mean, watching a river flow, there's no stress in that. Unless you're a fish and you don't want to go downstream. But for you, the looker, the purveyor, the person trying to interact with that act of nature, watching clouds float, very relaxing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pretend that they look like dogs or something. You just have to not try and understand the universe for 10 minutes a day. Not think in the past and berate yourself over things you didn't do. Not look to the future and see possible errors and things you're going to screw up. Everybody screws up. It's how you handle the screw ups that make life stress free. And in those brief moments of letting go, meditation is a word that's kind of been overused. It's just a letting go. You can revive a lot of things in yourself. Knowledge about things you've forgotten. Some kind of understanding of the universe that as time passes, you see, oh, why was I upset about that? Well, why did that give me such a problem? Living in the moment sort of suspends all the angst, all the past regrets, the future decisions you're going to have to make. Suspending thought handles all of these kind of things. It's a metaphysical thing. It doesn't have to be connected to yoga or anything else. You just have to suspend thought for a few moments. And it's amazing how blissful you feel. It feels like a drug. I know when I go to a fair and I read all day, I feel like I'm high. And people will say, "Well, you look asleep almost." And no, it's just I'm just very relaxed. And you achieve it through living in the moment for a few moments. Suspending this complex device that we are, because like I say, we know more about jet propulsion than we know about ourselves. We do know one thing: stress kills. It kills us 20 years before we should. And I was on that timeline. Very, very stressful. Everything was stressful. Everything was ratcheted up and important, and had to get this, had to do that. And passage of time has proven that none of that was true. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do that. What I need to do is learn to let go. And through letting go, you tend to understand this mechanism much better. Does it matter that we understand the universe? No. It is what it is. It's unchangeable. How much do you want to know? Oh, there's plenty of PBS specials about planets and stars and how the pharaohs lived, and I love all that stuff. But is it true? Scientists state one thing's absolutely true. 10 years later, they dig up some corpse of some old guy and say, well, we were wrong. That's not what happened. This is what happened. Then, just as those words are getting out in that bubble like a cartoon, someone comes up, digs up a dinosaur, and says, hey, it didn't happen like that. So, does it matter that history is not true? That people who write history are the winners? People who won a war, they write the history they want. Very little truth in it. Very little truth. And all the biographies that I've seen of people, as George S. Patton is standing there for the cameras, I know that most of it's a lie. It's a projected image that stuck, but very little of it is real. So why are we stressing out about most things? Stuff that's on the internet. That's not true. Like our president taking this drug. If you can suspend time for a few moments every day, a moment of bliss will come into your life. And yes, you do feel high without taking anything at all. And it protects you. That euphoric feeling that comes out is sort of like a shield or a buffer between you and the world. It keeps you from worrying about things that don't matter. How many planets are there? Is Jupiter really a planet? Is it just a gaseous ball? Um, I don't care. I'm never going there. I'm not going to eat some plutonian dish off of some plate that suspends in the air with something that looks like a knitting needle. Why should I worry about it? But people do. What's going to happen? And here's an interesting thing. Someone's just saying the world right now is evolving as it should, as it was going to anyway. This COVID-19 is over and over again has happened. It just is so long between these happenings that no one's alive now that remembers the 1918 pandemic, or they would have written a book about it, and it'd have been a bestseller, and we would have just opened that book and said, okay, we need to do these things. we're discovering things new because we didn't bother to listen or write things down or make any kind of sense of it at the time. They knew enough to put masks on. That's what's interesting. You see pictures, and we're doing the same thing. I got out and ate in a restaurant the other day. One opened up. My wife and I went. We hadn't been anywhere in 3 months, and there was limited seating. You had to be a long way away from anybody. Everybody had masks on. And I came through the door, and the guy had a mask on, showed me to a table, and said, "If you think I'm going to wear a mask and try and eat this, you're wrong." And he started laughing. No, no, no. You're allowed to take your mask off. So there was a woman. Where was I? I was I was in Home Depot, giving them a lot of plugs lately, aren't I? Looking for something. There was a lady in there with a mask, and she said, "I need a smoke." How they expect me to smoke with this mask on? I'm upset. I need to have a smoke. Yeah, not really. Not really. Maybe you can take this time, this 10 minutes you're going to be buying plants and not smoke, where you won't catch COVID-19 and be dead. Just a little thought. It stuck in my head. I told my wife about it. I think it was in Home Depot. I think it was yesterday morning. I was going to repair some railing out here that I know they're not going to repair. So trying to spend time for just a few moments, trying to suspend thought and worry, and see if it doesn't give you this euphoric kind of more of an understanding of the world kind of a feeling. And you tend to walk through the world without anything really hurting you. Strange, but that's what I get. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.